that she could get on with her work.
Wise woman, I would say. You've come in for a lot of criticism because of your association with Sasikala Natarajan, and yet you continue to stand by her, despite all the criticism. Why? Why do you do this?
She's a much misunderstood and maligned person, and she has been the target of a lot of vilification and persecution simply because of her loyalty to me and her closeness to me. If it were not for her friendship with me, no one would have attacked her the way she has been attacked. You know, she had to spend nearly a year in prison. She has suffered a lot. Most of the criticism has come from men who are politicians too. You see, it's impossible for someone to be in the thick of politics, run a political career and manage a household. But most men don't understand this because they have women at home, they have their wives or mothers to look after their households and their personal needs. Now, for example, I can't go out shopping. Someone has to do my shopping for me. And I have to leave at odd times, I have to leave in a hurry. There's no time for me to lock up the house or to see whether everything is safely put away. I just can't attend to these practical things. There has to be someone to look after my personal affairs and to take care of me too. She does all that quietly. So she to me is the sister I never had. And she's taken my mother's place because she looks after me. She does everything she is doing only because of her genuine affection for me. There are many who think that it would be useful to them to be in her place. So these are the people who have created all these nasty stories about her.
But they've cast so many aspersions and insinuations. How do you deal with that?
By ignoring them.
Must hurt you.
They do. In fact, I filed a defamation suit against a former union minister, that is Murasuli Maran, for casting aspersions on my relationship with Mrs. Sasikala.
How long have you known her?
I've known her since 1984.
Okay. How did you meet her?
She came once to the party office to see me. That's how we met. She is a very simple, God-fearing lady, and I really feel sorry that she's had to put up with so much ill treatment simply because of her friendship with me.
Do you think people in power sometimes get carried away by the trappings of power and lose their perspective, and then they only realize it in hindsight?
It happens very often. It's very easy to get carried away by the trappings of power, but then you need to have someone with you who is always there to bring you down to earth. You see, this happens when people hesitate to tell you the truth. Now, when my mother was alive, I could always depend upon her, and she was always there to bring me down to earth with a thud whenever it looked as though I was getting a bit carried away. It never happened, but you need someone around you like that. For example, when Mr. MGR was alive, I could never dream of getting carried away because he was always there to give me a knock on the head and bring me down to earth. Now, in my case, Mrs. Sasikala does that.
Do you use her as a sounding board?
Yes, of course.
Because you must have somebody to share your successes with, to turn to for moral support.
Yes, she gives me a lot of moral support. And if she feels I'm going wrong somewhere, she never hesitates to tell me so. And I take it from her as I would have if my mother were alive.